all our friends at home. So today, I'm just gonna do the video by myself because I wanna change it a little bit up for you guys. So if you have your tiles, you'll be using those a little bit, but I'm also loading 4 pages onto Seesaw, and I would like you to complete those rectangular arrays and fill in the number sentences. But we'll be manipulating our inch tiles a little bit before we do those pages. So just follow along with the video. Remember, you can pause the video at any time, complete your templates, go back to the video. All right? So let's read our learning target, and so we know what we're going to be doing today. And this fits perfectly with our lesson for today. We can form rectangles by tiling with unit squares to make arrays. So the big word in there is arrays. And we've been working with arrays a lot ever since we did multiplication. And if you remember the other day, you saw arrays like this, where we had stars and you had to write number sentences for them. So that's an array. And remember, we've also done arrays where we put circles. Those are arrays also. So they're anything arranged in rows and columns. So today we're going to be making rectangles by tiling with unit squares to make arrays. So today our rectangles are going to look like this, or our arrays. We're going to be making rectangles and we're going to be tiling them. So that's just another kind of array, isn't it? We've got rows and we've got a certain number of square tiles in each row. Okay? So that's really the gist of our lesson, and we'll be using multiplication and skip counting to help us form those arrays. All right, so I'm going to draw this rectangle here. And beside it, I'm going to put 2 inches. So that's one thing we know. We know that one side is 2 inches long. I'm also going to put this here. The area equals 12 square inches. So this is where you can use your tiles at home if you would like. And I'm going to go back underneath the Elmo and kind of guide you through what you can do. So we know that this side is 2 inches. We know the area is 12 square inches, but we don't know how long this side is here. So that's where our tiles are going to come in handy. So I hope you can still hear me. So if you think about it, we can use skip counting to help us. So I'm going to, you can do this at home with your tiles. I'm going to make one side that is 2 inches, just like it says up here, okay? Now, I need my area to be 12 square inches, so I can skip count by 2s and keep adding sets of 2 until I get to 12. And so this is what you can do at home with your tiles if you have them. So we can do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I counted by 2, 6 times until I got to 12. And now I'm going to put all those together because I don't want any gaps in my rectangle. All right, and now I have tiled a rectangle with one side that is 2 inches and an area of 12 square inches. And we can show our skip counting, so I'm going to come back up to the board and show you. Now we can count the tiles on the side to label this rectangle we built with our tiles 1, 2. And we can count along the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6 inches. And then we can show skip counting. We skip counted by 2s, didn't we? So this would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay? So we can skip count by 2s, just like if we were going to write this multiplication sentence, 2 times what equals 12, what would we do? We would skip count by 2 until we got to 12, and that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That would give us 6. All right? So this side length, now we know, is 6. And so what you're going to have on your template is just something that looks like this. So I want you to go ahead and draw the tiles in here. You don't have to trace them. So I need 2 on this side. So there's 2. And then I need 6 going across the top. So in other words, I'm taking this rectangle that I built with my tiles, and I'm going to tile this one on the paper. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Hopefully yours look a little bit more even than that. All right? And so now I have tiled the rectangle just like our learning target said. Okay, we're going to make an array, we're going to tile it, and we're going to find our area is 12 square inches. And so you could also skip count this. Now that we have it done, we could skip count 6 and 12. And we could also just count all the tiles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right? But our real method today is to use that array into skip counting to fill in our rectangular arrays. And by the way, that's what these are called. They're called rectangular arrays. And think about it. Why are they called rectangular arrays? Because they're rectangles and they're also arrays, right? And so what would we fill in this number sentence? We would fill in this number sentence with 2 times 6 equals 12. All right? So that was our first example, and you'll find your first template. And what I want you to do on your template is to tile that rectangle just like we did here with our tiles and like I did here, and then fill in your number sentence, okay? I'm going to do another example with you. Let me get the next template brought up. Okay, this is your second example. I'm going to go over this with marker. This is exactly what your template looks like on Seesaw. And you can see that we have a rectangle here drawn. It's not made into an array yet. That's our job. We will be tiling that rectangle and making it into an array. We do know this side is 5 inches. And you will see that you have a number set, and 5 times what equals 15. So these are our knowns. We know 5. And we know 15, and we have to figure out our unknown. Our unknown will give us this side length. So if you think about it, we can draw 5 squares. And mine are not very even, okay? 5 squares, and now we have a side that is 5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, we can just count the tiles. Now think about it. How many times are we going to have to count 5 to get to 15? 5, 10, 15. We'll have to count 3 times. So 5 times 3 equals 15. So how many columns will we need? We will need 3 columns. You know what? I'm going to redraw this because I don't like the way I made those. I want them to be a little bit more square because we are talking about square units. So if I draw my first one with 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I know I need 3 more because it's 5, 10, 15. So I'll draw another one with 5. Now I've got 10. And now I need another one with 5. And now I have 15. Okay, so I've got a nice rectangular array. And now that I have tiled my array, I can label this blank side. This blank side will be 3 inches. How do I know I have 3 tiles? 1, 2, 3. All right? And then finally, we have this number sentence on your template. Area equals 5 inches times what inches, and gives you a total of 15 square inches. Well, 5 inches represents the number of rows, or this side, and then how many tiles are in each row? If we count 1, 2, 3. So 5 inches times 3 inches equals 15 square inches. Now that we know that it's 3, we can also skip count by 3s to get our total. So now I'm going to skip count here, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Okay? So the skip counting is really important when you only know one side. Like that's the skip counting you have to use. Okay? All right, so we have another. So this is how I would like you to complete your template at home. So you're going to tile in that array, show what your missing factor was, and then write your number sentence for your area. Okay? Got another example. And then the last one I'm going to have you do on your own. Okay, I apologize that this is not that dark. So I'm going to kind of go over it. We have part of a rectangular array drawn. And on your template, you'll see this. And you'll see that. And then the directions say, label the side lengths and complete tiling, oops, the rectangle. All right, so we have enough information there. Even though we're given no numbers, we have enough information to label our side lengths. This one is 1, 2, 3, so that is 3 inches. All we got to do is count the tiles, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches. All we have to do is count the tiles, okay? Now they want us to complete tiling the rectangle, so I'm going to complete tiling. I'm going to draw that line going all the way across, and I'm going to draw this line going all the way across, and then I can use these lines to finish tiling going down. And then I want you to think about what are the different ways we could skip count to get the total number of squares or the total area of this rectangle. Okay, so the kids in my class said, well, Mrs. Reed, one way you can skip count is you can count by sevens, and we sure can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We knew one side length was 7. 7 plus 7 is 14, and 7 more gives us 21. Remember your song, 7, 14, 21. But I had some kids say, Mrs. Reed, we could also skip count by threes to find the total area of this rectangle. So we can skip count by threes going down the columns. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Either way we decide to skip count, we can get the total area. Okay? So, number 2 says, show how you can skip count, which is what we just did. Show how you can skip count 2 ways on the rectangle to find the area. All right. Remember, we can check our work also by going back and numbering every single one of those tiles. But what we're learning now is that we can use skip counting to help us find the area as opposed to doing all that counting. And we've been skip counting for a long time now, so that should be an easy thing for us to do. So what you're going to do on this template is you're going to label your side lengths. The template will be started for you, the rectangle. Then you're going to finish tiling it. You're going to show your skip counting going across the rows, and then show your skip counting on the columns. And then last but not least, you're going to want to write this area equation. So it says down here, and I'm going to rewrite it because I'm sure it's hard for you to read. The area equals how many inches times how many inches equals how many square inches. Well, let's look at it. If we think of this as a regular array, we can say, well, we have 3 rows, right? So it's 3 inches. And we have 7 in each row times 7 inches, and our total would be 21 square inches. Please note how we label our side lengths. And we label our side lengths with just plain inches, and we label our area with square inches because these are all squares and areas, the whole inside of that rectangle, what it covers. Whereas the side lengths are just from here to here, and those are just plain units. Okay? So that's another one that I would like you to finish on the template. Again, if you wanted to start to tile this, you could, but you do not have 21 tiles at home. The kids here didn't have 21 tiles. So eventually we just got to where we were drawing in the rest of the rectangle. Okay? So you just want to make sure all your rows are even. Each row has 7 in it, and you have 3 in each column. Okay? All right, we have one more example. I'm going to go over it, and then I want you to do this one on your template independently, okay, on your seesaw. hoping that this is dark enough for you to see and I don't have to trace over it. You can see that we have the start of a rectangle. We have a side that is 6 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In other words, that's one of our knowns, okay? Then we have this number sentence, 6 times what equals 24? Well, if we want 24 tiles in here, we have to decide what we can skip count by to get to 24. And if you think about it, you can, well, let's skip count. 6, 12, 18, 24. You're going to need to skip count by 6 4 times in order to get to 24. What does that mean? That means if this is 6, you're going to have to continue to add rows of 6 until you get to 24 and show your skip count. So, the directions for this template will be use skip counting and tiling to complete the rectangle. So you're going to finish tiling as you skip count. Fill in the blanks in each number sentence. So you have one here. We kind of already talked about what would go in there because we used our skip counting to figure out the unknown. And then down here you're going to write your number sentence in terms of area. So when we do area, we actually label all our numbers. Area equals 6 inches times how many inches equals 24 square inches. So the side length we're missing is this one right here. As you tile that and you skip count by 6s, it should become evident how many tiles you have on this side. Okay? So that's a little bit challenging for you, but if you look back at the other examples we did and watch the video to see how I skip counted and finished those first couple examples, you should be able to do this one. And please submit to your teacher. Okay? Thank you so much.